Today I'd like to share with you a short passage from our good friend St. Louis de Montfort from his book, The Secret of the Rosary. You may be familiar with his other book, True Devotion to Mary. That one is also fantastic, and I strongly recommend it too. But in an early section of this book called The Second Rose, St. Louis de Montfort describes how St. Dominic, who was the founder of the Order of Preachers, also known as the Dominicans, was working to defeat the Albigensians through his preaching, and he was having very little success. So the Blessed Mother appeared to him, and this was the conversation between them. She begins, "Dear Dominic, do you know which weapon the Blessed Trinity wants to use to reform the world?" "Oh, my lady," answered St. Dominic, "you know far better than I do, because next to your Son Jesus Christ, you have always been the chief instrument of our salvation." Then Our Lady replied, "I want you to know that in this kind of warfare, the battering ram has always been the angelic psalter, which is the foundation stone of the New Testament. Therefore, if you want to reach these hardened souls and win them over to God, preach my psalter." So, a few things to note. First of all, the Holy Rosary is the angelic psalter. She calls it my psalter because the Holy Rosary developed as a parallel devotion to the 150 psalms that the monastics would pray. Lay people generally were not able to devote that kind of time to memorizing and praying all 150 psalms. And so, in response, the 150 Hail Marys of the 15 mysteries of the Rosary developed as a, like I said, a parallel devotion. Secondly, the Blessed Mother herself calls the Rosary a weapon, which is why that description has become so popularized. We are in a spiritual warfare as individuals for our own sanctification and socially and culturally. And as I'm sure you've noticed, if politics and politicians were the solution to these problems, there would be no more culture wars. Yet somehow, they keep getting richer and the soul of the world keeps getting sicker. Third thing, the Rosary places us firmly on the side of the Queen of Heaven, who we are promised will crush the head of the serpent. And directing our attention to Psalm 146, beginning in verse 3, we are told, "Put not your trust in princes, in a son of man, in whom there is no help. When his breath departs, he returns to his earth. On that very day, his plans perish. Happy is he whose help is the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord his God, who made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, who keeps faith forever, who executes justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry. The Lord sets the prisoners free. The Lord opens the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down. The Lord loves the righteous. The Lord watches over the sojourners. He upholds the widow and the fatherless, but the way of the wicked he brings to ruin." Thank you for taking this time. The Lord gave us the Blessed Virgin Mary and her Holy Rosary to assist us in this warfare. Until next time, the Rosary is our weapon. The scapular is our garment of grace.